What are some unrealistic expectations that women have of men? That's what we'll be exploring in this video. Stay tuned. Okay, so the first unrealistic expectation that women have of men is unconditional love. A man would not love you unconditionally. I know you've been made to believe this, and you've been, I don't know, what, maybe due to the contents that you're exposed to on social media or the kind of movies that you watch, but there isn't anything like unconditional love. When a man is courting you or dating you, there is a reason for it. There's something that he wants from you. It's not just to love you. It's not just for your own sake. It's also for his own benefit. We get into relationships so that we will be fulfilled. We get into relationships so that we are happy. If you're not meeting a certain need that was agreed upon in the relationship, the love might be affected. The love is going to change. There isn't anything like unconditional love. Think about it. If you're somebody who was always calm and very understanding, and suddenly you're not understanding anymore, or he doesn't feel like you can hear him out, or that you listen to him, or you're somebody who usually just extends that love and care, and suddenly that is not there, these things can make love, can impact any relationship. Okay, so if it goes the other way too, if you're a woman and let's say you marry this man and he provides for you, or he's been your pillar, and suddenly he's not anymore, the way you see him, your love for him might get impacted. So this is a very unrealistic expectation. Men do not love you for just who you are, or just keep loving you for whatever you are doing or whatever it is. That they love and appreciate you for what you bring to them, for what you offer to them, for what you bring into their life, and the impact that you have in their life. They love and appreciate you as long as you maintain the original contract, the original agreement that you guys had when you started dating. You know what this man liked about you when you guys started going out. Why are you changing that? What is changing about that? These are things that's going to affect the way a man expresses his love or keeps loving you. There isn't anything like unconditional love. The second unrealistic expectation that women have is that they believe that they are equals in a relationship. So, of course, you're supposed to perceive your partner as equal, but, and I'm not saying here that a man is higher than a woman. I'm just saying that if a man pays your bills, provides for you, you cannot also expect him to be equal with you. This is, it's not going to work. It's not a proper balance. It's a non-realistic expectation. There's no basis for it. If a man is the pillar of the home, or he's the one who is taking care of you, or he's the one providing for you, or he's the one paying all your bills, he's the one you rely on, you also expect him to be equals with you. That's a very unrealistic expectation. You need to have this at the back of your mind, because you cannot expect a man to be that way and also perceive you another way, or treat you as an equal. It's an improper balance. That it doesn't work like that. It really talked about unrealistic expectation that women have, and that is mind reading. A man does not know what is going on in your mind. It's understandable if both of you are going through something at the moment, and he knows that, okay, this is more like what you'll be thinking about right now, or this is more like what your thought process will be. But for you to expect that a man should know that you want ice cream right now, or that you want cake, you want red velvet precisely, or for you to expect that this man should know what is troubling you right now, for you to think that a man knows you or should know you more than you even know yourself, it's very unrealistic. Half of the time, ladies don't even know what they want to order for dinner. They don't even know what they want to have for breakfast. Heck, they're trying to decide which clothes to wear for the day. How do you expect a man to know what you want? How do you expect a man to know what's in your mind? It's impossible for a man to read your mind. You have to speak. your mind. Say it to him and he's going to get it. You cannot constantly expect that a man would know what's on your mind. A man is not a mind reader. A man would not know you more than you know yourself. A man would not know your thoughts and your plans right at the moment when you're thinking all these things that he should know. He's probably busy with something else. He's probably busy with like work or engaging in some sort of activity. He doesn't know that you're mad about something until you let him know. He wouldn't know that he's done something wrong to you or he's offended you in some way until you let him know. You have to communicate this. They believe a man has to approach them first. A man has to make the plans. A man has to put everything in place, lay the ground and make everything favorable before they can, start considering you. But you can approach a man in a way that suggests that you're curious about him. That you're curious about him. A man, and if you're already seeing this man, you don't expect that he's going to make all the plans. You don't expect that he's going to handle this and handle that and pay this and pay for that and take care of this. There's nothing realistic about this, because this is supposed to be a relationship where everyone is relating cordially and we're not seeing each other for the sake of just seeing each other. We're seeing each other so that we can equally contribute into each other's lives. So you cannot expect a man to constantly make the plans, or if you see a man that you're interested in, you cannot expect him to approach you first or be the first person to talk to you. I know there are some traditional women out there and who do not believe in this at all, in approaching a man or talking to a man, but there's absolutely nothing wrong in showing your curiosity about a man and letting him know that you are curious about him or that you are interested in his life or whatever it is. Do not have the sort of expectation that you just seated back and you're laid back and he's gonna know he's gonna know to approach you. That a man has to have stamina in the bedroom, so multiple rounds of sex and just being in it, being involved in it. If a man ends up having an orgasm for the first time, second time, even the first time alone, most men are tired. They're going to fall asleep. I'm not saying that this is a good thing. Sometimes there might be a condition there that a man may need to seek help for, but you cannot expect him to keep going for as long as you have that stamina. This goes both ways though. You cannot expect him to keep going and just keep going as long as because you want it and you're feeling it. He is most likely exhausted already. I mean, the average man lasts about 10 minutes. I think it's even less, 5. If a man is going 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or has already had an orgasm within 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and you expect him to go again, especially with age, this sort of stamina and interest and endurance, they do not tend to keep lasting. They do not tend to continue in that way. So when it seems like he's had his first orgasm, it's not immediately that he could keep going. A man will not have the stamina to keep going right away, except he's still pretty young, very sexually active, whatever it is. The average man, I'm speaking for the average man out there, will not be able to just continue. So do not have this expectation that he's a machine and that he's gonna keep going, and that as long as you want it, as long as you're beautiful, as long as you're seductive, as long as you put in the effort, that he will be interested again. He's gonna get aroused and he will want to go again. No, it's very unrealistic. Most men, the average man out there, would not keep going. He's not gonna have the stamina for multiple rounds of sex. You must keep this in mind. Okay, so this is why sometimes too you need to have some conversations before you get in a relationship. If this is something that's important to you, you really need to speak it out to your man and let them know how important this is for you, because most men do not have this sort of stamina, and you have to be able to deal with this kind of, because I don't know, would I say it's the internet, pornography, websites that are corrupting the human mind these days? Because most of those people are not, I mean, they are on a different level in terms of what they are doing. And some of them go, because it's a movie and it's staged, they go the extra mile in putting in that effort to make this a success. In the moment with your man, that might not be the case. Another unrealistic expectation is that your man has to be available emotionally, and has to be available materially, and has to be available financially. Most of the time, this expectation would not be met, because the standard for a woman in terms of what she wants from a man, a man might feel like he's meeting it. A man might feel like he's there, but he's not. Okay, so a woman, in terms of meeting her needs, her needs might be here, but a man might just be here. A man would never absolutely meet or exceed your needs emotionally, materially, mentally, physically. Ties back to our previous point. It's unrealistic for a man to be available, to always be available for you and when you need him. Okay, I once made a video about women who some red flags in women, and I had talked about being possessive and needy, and being obsessive. Most women who want you to always be available to them do not really know what they are asking for, because availability for a man means the inability to make ends meet. Those two cannot often coexist, where a man is available for you 100% and also equally financially good and stable, and taking care of you. I mean, there are some people, the 1% who are on a different level, who have made money, or who are making a large sum of money in terms of their income, in terms of their art or their music or whatever it is. But the average man out there cannot be available to you all the time. Whenever you call him, that he has to pick the call, or whenever you want him to be around, that he has to come over. He's not always going to be available. And then also that when you need something, let's say you need some sort of financial assistance, or you want him to provide something for you, that he would also do that. That is not possible. Those factors cannot coexist together, because a man has to be unavailable sometimes and available somewhere else to make a living. He has to be unavailable from your life in the moment in order to make a living somewhere. So do not put this sort of pressure on your man, because for him to choose you and always be with you and always be available to you and meeting your need and satisfying your need means that this man would be sacrificing something else as well, which is most likely his dream, his work, whatever it is. That's what he's giving up to be available for you. Okay, so don't put this kind of pressure on a man, or don't expect this from him if he is not spending as much time as he should. That's a different issue. You guys can put yourself on a plan when you can appropriately take out the time to spend quality time together. Okay, but do not expect that he's always just gonna run to you whenever you need him. They take privileges as a right. Okay, they believe that a privilege is a right. What do I mean by that? So let's say a man he's being a gentleman. He's doing a lot of things for you. He's buying you gifts. He's treating you right. He's taking you on vacation and all that. You begin to see that as something that he should do. You can have a conversation with this kind of girl And she will tell you, oh, that, that's what he's supposed to do. He's my boyfriend. Who told you that? Who told you he's supposed to do that? Even your dad is not supposed to do that. Like, he doesn't even owe you that. A man doesn't owe you vacation and trips and paying your bills and giving you money or buying gifts for you. He doesn't owe you any of that. These are privileges that you get. These are privileges that you get for being with this kind of man. It's not a right. If you have a mindset like this, where you believe that a man paying for your trips and paying for your food and paying your bills or taking care of all that stuff, and he's doing it and you take it as a right, that is the highest level of entitlement. That's the peak of entitlement. Nothing could be worse than that. Nothing. It's not a right. It's a wrong expectation to believe that this is something a man is supposed to always do. Because when he doesn't, now you believe he doesn't love you anymore. Now you believe he doesn't care about you anymore. Now you believe he doesn't have feelings for you anymore. Now you believe he's spending the money on another girl. Do not have this sort of expectation. It's going to ruin your relationship. The last unrealistic expectation I wanted to mention in this video is to believe that a man will change for you. When you were dating this man and going out with this man, or even if you're at that stage right now, the kind of attitudes that he's showing and the way he's being, this is who this man is most likely going to grow into. Except something drastic happens in his life, then he makes a U-turn. He becomes a different person. But who knows even whether you will like that person that he becomes. A man is never going to change for you. A man is never going to change for you. Okay? If you know a man who right now is a smoker, you don't want to date a man who smokes, but let's say you're caught up in a lot more other benefits, you're caught up in a lot more other feelings and emotions and euphoria of the newness of your relationship or whatever it is in the moment. You're caught up in that and you're overlooking the fact that this man smokes. You overlook that, or it's not registering to you right now, but in time it's going to register to you. Your obsession with it and your you trying to get this man to stop smoking, for instance, it's an unrealistic expectation. And you also think that he's just going to do it. Like, he's just going to do it. He loves me, right? He has to do it. He's going to do it because he cares for me. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. These are habits that a man has built over the years before you met him. This is a pattern that he has established over the course of his life before he ever knew that he was going to meet you. For you to expect that this man is going to drop some characters and some traits, or he's just going to drop some patterns and some behaviors that you already see right now is who he is. For you to expect that the man is going to drop this attitude, it's an absolute unrealistic expectation, because that's not going to happen. Except something drastic, except something huge happens in his life. I hope I've been able to share some unrealistic expectations for you. See you on the next one.